All right, howdy everyone. Thank you for joining us again today. I'm Steve Spillett, president of CDS, and this is The Point with CDS. I'm joined by my colleagues Mike Pratz and Ty Jacobson. Last video we talked about for sale and rental housing. This time we're touching on commercial land uses. We're going to talk about office, retail, and industrial. Our first video here is going to talk about the office market and give you our thoughts, our points on the office market from the CDS perspective. So to kick off things, and you know, of the commercial uses we're going to be talking about, office is the one that's probably the least happy. And for the last couple years, ever since the pandemic, we've had sort of national office space malaise, if you will, with the whole work from home phenomenon that really jumped initially during the pandemic. Seems to be easing back a little bit, but it's not going back to where it was pre-pandemic. This has caused a whole reevaluation of the nature of office demand nationwide. And of course in Houston, we were already not in a great place because the great healthy office market we had back in the fracking boom ended in 2015, and it's never fully recovered since. Other Texas markets had healthy markets for substantially longer than that due to their lower reliance on the oil and gas industry. But here we are. Everyone's pretty much almost every market is having some issues. And I just want to touch on a few points that I'd like to make, and the guys will jump in as well. One thing, despite all the gloom and the incredibly high vacancy rate, Houston has one of the highest vacancy rates in the nation. 25 to 30% depends on how you're measuring it. It's been bad. And so there's a lot of buildings that have pretty low occupancy, especially if they're older and lower quality, have fewer amenities, haven't been updated. It's tough, and there's loans out on most of those office properties. Over the next several years, they're going to be coming due, and so we have a financial situation that's going along with the market situation, and it's all kind of a big mess. However, I want to point out, my point is that there are actually some bright spots, and there's the flight to quality phenomenon that's been going on with a lot of office tenants choosing to move to newer, higher quality buildings with more amenities and in different types of settings from some of the more traditional office environments and urban environments that we had seen. You know, walkable mixed-use settings have proven to be desirable for office tenants. And a bright point that we're seeing here in Houston is it seems that boutique style buildings in those kinds of settings, especially if they're close to an affluent residential base where at least some of the workers might be, who are in that building might be coming from, seem to be viable. In fact, I saw something, I don't know that it's been announced in the media officially, but I saw a proposed building near Westheimer and Kirby that was not small. It was over 200,000 square feet. You know, that is being proposed and would be a redevelopment project, and the marketing material emphasized that sort of affluent, walkable, mixed-use area. So those seem to be viable, and that's in the urban core. I think also a lot of larger corporations have been moving out towards the suburbs, but they're also seeking those kinds of environments for office space. So it's not like the market is dead. There are opportunities. So I'm curious as to y'all's thoughts on this whole situation.
My kind of point for office is kind of twofold, really. I guess so. 2 points. Rates, right? Interest rates. So a lot of I think office overbuilding took place across America because they're just very low rates, so it was easy to finance, so it was easy to build. and then it was very easy to refinance. So I think office loans are average 5 to 10 years.
That's typical, yes.
So every 5 to 10 years, if the rates were low, you could just refinance your office building. And now with the rates higher, you can't do that anymore. So that trick is out the window. So I think that's one important point that I think a lot of people should be aware of when it comes to office space.
And that's being coupled with the underwriting assumptions that go into a new loan, where the rates you can get and the occupancy you can get. You know, again, if you've got one of these fancy new buildings, you might be golden, but those older buildings, the assumptions have been revised downwards. So the whole valuation aspect of it and the loan to value ratio you can get on that financing has been changing, and so that's creating these rough conditions on the financing side.